All right. This might be part of the spicy opinion, but I think as a whole, this idea that the Pillars are going after the championship belt is exciting within the context of AEW because they're putting their young guys on, and that's exciting for me. But also the believability that any of those three guys are anywhere close to MJF, like, I have a hard time buying into wanting to believe that they could actually go after this belt. Now we all know it's not going to happen. So when I see, like, you're giving me a 15-minute, 10-minute opening segment with three dudes who are all like, I'm going for the belt. No, I'm going for the belt. And it's like, I don't want any of y'all to go for the belt.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, like, I feel like that would have been a great opportunity to circle back to the Ricky Starks thing. I don't know how I feel about the Jay White stuff. We could talk about that later. But I felt like out of all those three, none of them really have in the past couple of weeks, they've grown their stock. But at the end of the day, I don't believe any of them can actually beat MJF. And that was what was great about Danielson, was there was like a moment where I was like, I know he's not winning, but is he? But
Yeah,
with
you
this,
still kind of like knew he wasn't going to win, but yet with how good that match was, like
right.
by the end of it, I was sitting there like, they really gonna take this off MJF this fast? Like,
So, and then with this, I'm just like, trying to not be so critical and just be like, y'all are actually trying to get behind these three guys. So I'm excited for that. The match with Sammy and Jungle Boy was dope, and we could talk about that when we get to it.
yeah,
But I just feel like I'm not really bought into this storyline still.
I think that how you said, all three of their stock has risen. I actually disagree. I think Jungle Boy's stock has fallen.
Wow,
yeah.
talk
I
to us
kind of,
about that. I
I
want.
kind of,
Um,
I kind of agree with Aaron on that. Like,
because before this, and even before I deeply started following AEW, I always heard people say great things about Jack Perry
Mhm.
and about how he's a young guy they really need to invest a lot in. And I thought the same when I just saw his work. And I've been seeing more of his promos now. And, it's just, like I said, the segment really struggled until MJF came out. I have enjoyed Darby's promos. I think Sammy Guevara is a really good promo as well.
Darby's still doing that, but
But
we didn't talk. I love Darby. Darby's like my favorite out of all them, probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
But still doing the like last week after Sting did his promo. Like they should have just left it there, but Darby still had to get in like the world is like a plastic, or I don't live in your plastic world. And I was like, Darby, shut up, man! Like just let's
No,
go.
I think he has a little bit of like what Jeff has, where it's like if anybody else said it, it would sound really, really dumb.
Right.
But sometimes it can be a little too campy. But I think he's been getting that happy medium a little bit better lately. For
Yeah,
me,
yeah, no, I
he
agree.
sounds more serious and believable lately, so that's good.
Yeah.
You
And
can
also, he
he
advocate for MJF to go to therapy. So, like, go to therapy.
yeah go,
You know what I mean?
go
Yeah,
fix your
it's
shit.
realism there.
Yeah.
Says the man with the half skeleton face. Like.
If he's telling you that, boy, listen.
Says the man that's jumping off of ladders in the ring through double
Yeah.
stacked chairs.
I just think
But
like juxtapose this opening segment, and I know we shouldn't do this because I don't like comparing AEW and WWE because to me it's just two completely different things.
It is.
For the most part. But juxtapose this to like a Monday Night Raw open where you would have like Seth Rollins come out and the Bloodline come out. Who would you rather hear talk for 15 minutes? I mean, even with the WWE scripting sometimes being as cringe and terrible as it is, I love the creative license that people get in AEW, but I think that you got to protect people too at the same time, and I think that that's why Jungle Boy's stock has fallen a little bit because he's been exposed a little bit.
Oh, I'm
You know,
torn because it feels like they're trying to give those, like, people like Jungle Boy who struggle with their promos, Wardlow too. They're trying to give them time to work on it, right? But it's like, I'm also like, do you need to give Precious TV time for them to be working on these promos? Like,
yeah,
they do. I think when Jungle Boy was doing his backstage segments, was doing the promos like a little bit more edited, but they were
yeah,
coming off stronger.
exactly.
So,
Yep.
like, lean into that for this. Personally do not want my show to open up with talking anymore. I'm over it. And I think that's why that's leading to me being like, I'm ready to see y'all wrestle. I'm ready to see the storyline actually go somewhere beyond just
But
y'all talking to each other.
I don't know. Dynamite does a lot of wrestling. You know, like it's like the whole thing is wrestling.
And you're right, Pat. You're right, Pat. And Moretta, that's a great point about wanting it just to get to wrestling, because I think that can be said for a lot of stuff in AEW, because that's what we're in. That's what we come to AEW for. The
But
talking I can excuse more in WWE.
I think for certain people you get that. Like, but for MJF, like, even though I love his matches, I come for his talking.
Right. I'm with you on that.
Danielson lately, like, I come for his talking. You know, I've seen him do every banger match.
Those people, not the people who we.
I know, but what I'm saying is, like,
you know,
I think Rampage should work like SmackDown does, where SmackDown, not a lot of matches on SmackDown, like heavy story. And so on like Dynamite, you can have maybe the people that can keep it together, like MJF and Danielson, that don't need work. They're doing the heavy lifting of talking. You got Jericho and Adam Cole and all them doing it. And then on Rampage, have the younger people get their talking in.
Yeah.
I think like before the main event, when Mark Henry like has them do the little back and forth, like it's like an old Southern wrestling, like kind of thing. Like, I think a lot of people always like have like started getting better on the mic by like knocking those out of the park. I feel like so yeah, I just think Dynamite should have, like, if it's the pillar match that they're going to, those four are probably like some of the biggest characters, you know, that an everyday AEW fan like really wants something from. Like, we know Danielson can go, we know Adam Cole can go, we know MJF's going to be great, but yeah, I really want to like see something from all of them. And Darby stepped up. I think Sammy Guevara has stepped up. I think his promos have been fucking good. He, in Long Island, he was able to like brush the fucking heat off from MJF. And
he's showing a lot of confidence. It's good.
He did.
Yeah. And he just like brushed off the booze or whatever and just kept on keeping on. But yeah, I agree that like Jungle Boy has maybe taken the biggest hit from it. And then you kind of go like, how much of like the good promos from the Jungle Boy Christian stuff was like Christian helping out, you know, like
yeah.
And Christian can still help out behind the scenes. Like, he could be like, whoop.
I don't want to see Jungle Boy with Christian at all anymore. I don't want to see them in the same room.
Don't y'all be emailing each other no more.
Yeah. What she was saying behind the scenes, and I agree with that. Like,
Just like pull him aside and be like, hey, saw what happened last Dynamite. Let's work on that for next, you know, hopefully next Dynamite they don't do that again. But if they have to, hopefully someone's helping him structure his promos a little bit better.
Oh yeah, if you liked this clip, then be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, yeah! And check out the channel for the latest episode of the podcast. And remember, keep those marks permanent and work hard like you're training for a world tournament. Dig it!